then go into some public situation, a job or something like that, for a couple of days and pass myself off as a woman. And, you know, I have enough difficulty passing myself off as a bloke, really. So the idea of voluntarily doing something like this, but obviously there'd be people who would be desperate to do it.
That, to me, is the death of civilization. I think there is now no culture in Britain. And people watch it and people talk about it. And even intelligent journalists say, I'm hooked on... what a sad, sad, pathetic, puny life you must have. You know, writing the Daily Telegraph. I'm hooked, you know, Will Tuffers, yeah, Snog, Linda... I'm appalled.
We don't live in a society where culture has declined or anything like that. We live in a decadent society, pure and simple. You know, reality television is the circus. It's the circus maximus of our culture, and it's even more tawdry in a way than feeding Christians to the lions.
It's the cult of the moron, you know, and I don't know, you know... I suppose it's fascinating, but I don't know why it's fascinating to watch. And, like, you're looking at the person who helped to invent the format. I mean, you know, me and my partners had owned Survivor, which is the first of these.
The people who create television haven't got time to move outside of TV, go to the theatre, go to the galleries, absorb the culture that's the living, breathing, organic culture that's outside the media. The media is a spiv media. Television is a spiv media. It feeds off everything else.
Yes, it's exactly what our dad said. It's probably what their dad said. And saddest of all, in 25 years from now, it's what our kids will say as well. Maybe it's something about the human condition. Things, apparently, can only ever get worse.
I absolutely think that the country is deteriorating. I think the young are filthy-mouthed, irresponsible. As a race, we should be ashamed of ourselves. Culturally speaking, everything's gone to the dogs. Who do you think wrote that? It was written in 1600 by a monk. So, like, what's changed? And apparently, what people have nostalgia for is always 50 years ago.
You turning over?
So, there you are. You'd always thought that they were just harmless, practically invisible middle-aged geezers, bulging over their belts and kidding themselves they can still fit into their Levi's, experimenting with the latest haircut, and usually finally adopting it just as it's going out of fashion. Apparently amiable old gits just going quietly on their way to the grave. But now you know. Beneath those apparently quiescent exteriors, they are gently simmering. Angry? No, not quite. Fed up? No, not exactly. Grumpy? Yes, that's it. A generation of grumpy old men. Grumpy to find that somewhere over the rainbow, the dreams they dared to dream really did not come true. Nothing to be done for them, but maybe their only redeeming feature is that they have the good grace to know that in the end, all they are is a pain in the arse.
People that are close to me say, you're a pain in the arse, actually.
Just get a load of oldish gits and get them to ramble on.
Constant grumping on about this, that and the other. Nothing is better than it was in their youth. Everything was better in the 50s, the 60s and 70s. Well, I was there in the 50s, 60s and 70s, and it wasn't. So one of the worst features of modern times is modern, grumpy old men. I'd like to do away with them, too.
Call that an excuse for a television programme and expect people to sit at home and watch it.
I withdraw everything. Everything I've said is rubbish. The one thing I hate particularly in the world is grumpy old men and their bloody pointless whining away. Just shut up and get ready for the coffin.
We hope you've enjoyed the series final of Grumpy Old Men. Make sure you're with us next Tuesday for coverage of the federal budget.